What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Friday, July 5th. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing XRP having the potential to become the world's most valuable digital asset, and Ripple, the company, not to be confused with XRP, the digital asset, Ripple, the private centralized company that could soon go public, I think could become the world's most valuable company. And I'm talking even more valuable than an Amazon or an Apple or an Nvidia. And that is because we're talking about all the money in the world. This is the new financial system, the plumbing for the new age financial system, and Ripple's at the forefront of it. And if you really think about it, we had the Internet of Information. Look at what happened in all these big tech companies that benefited from it. Well, this is going to be the Internet of Value, right? Soon we're going to be able to send money at the speed of light, the same speed that we send emails. And in my opinion, Ripple's at the forefront. It's going to be an absolute game changer. We'll also take a look at what Grok has to say. It's X's AI bot, so the competitor to ChatGPT, and then we'll take a look at a few other things. We'll dive into the chart on XRP. I think we could potentially see 30 cents, as we do have some bearish patterns that are forming on the chart, but we'll take a look at the chart, the technicals, and what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead in just a moment. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. And full disclosure, I do own XRP in my portfolio. It's my largest crypto holding by far. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor of today's video, and that's BitGet. BitGet is a leading crypto exchange with over 25 million users and 10 billion in USDT in daily trading volume. BitGet also offers a variety of trading options and has the largest crypto copy trading platform. BitGet also has great transparency with industry-leading proof of reserve ratios. If you'd like to learn more, please visit the link in the description. You can earn sign-up bonuses by using our link, and it also helps the channel out. This is a paid promotion in collaboration with BitGet. The first thing we'll bring up is the Grok AI bot. So I asked it, could XRP become the world's most valuable digital asset? And of course, it has to go through its regular, we can't really predict the future, but essentially they say XRP and any other digital asset we can't predict with certainty, but XRP has the potential to become one of the most valuable digital assets due to its focus on facilitating cross-border payments and its partnerships with major financial institutions. However, the cryptocurrency market is highly volatile, yada, yada, yada. Talks about regulatory developments. Obviously, they're in a case with the SEC, which we've got some news on that in just a moment, and when the case could be ending. From a Ripple lawyer and Ripple advocate and lawyer in the industry. Some people believe that XRP has the potential to become the world's most valuable digital asset due to its unique features and use cases. They argue that XRP's fast transaction speeds, low fees, and partnerships with major financial institutions could drive its value up significantly in the future. On the other hand, some people are skeptical, and they say that the cryptocurrency market is highly competitive and XRP faces stiff competition from other digital assets. Additionally, XRP has faced legal battles and regulatory scrutiny, which has led to uncertainties in the status of the crypto. But ultimately, the future of value of XRP will depend on the complex interplay of factors, making it impossible to make precise forecasts. But like I said, they have the biggest use case, in my opinion, cross-border payments. Money is clunky to send cross borders. It's slow, and it's going to be, in my opinion, the best digital asset on the planet for this use case. And look at the derivatives market, right? You're talking about all the money in the world, right? Eventually it's the first tokenized exchange, right? So you can basically tokenize anything on the XRP ledger, right? You can tokenize a house, a land title, you can tokenize anything you want, gold, and there's already companies that are doing so, and it's basically going to create just a whole new wave of opportunity, right? Look at the amount of prices for real estate and homes and different types of sports arenas and things like that. Eventually you'll be able to fractionalize it, and you'll be able to own maybe 0.5% of a house, or some kind of sports arena, right? A sports team even, right? So there's so much potential, it's not even funny. And the use cases that it's solving are by far the biggest use cases, and there's not really any other crypto that's really going after the same type of use case. And Ripple, the company, is basically the oil of the crypto industry, Exxon to oil, right? So ExxonMobil to oil. So just because ExxonMobil, has a ton of oil doesn't mean that oil is a security of Exxon, or it just goes to show you that Ripple has a vested interest in XRP. XRP was created before Ripple, the company, and that's a misconception that a lot of people get wrong. But then I asked it, could Ripple become the world's most valuable company? Based on the information provided, Ripple has the potential to become a highly valuable company. CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, predicted the crypto market could reach a total valuation of $5 trillion. He said that was conservative, by the way, by the end of 2024. The prediction is based on several macroeconomic factors, including growing institutional interest in crypto and the possibility of more favorable regulatory policies in the U.S. And we know that the U.S. is never first, they're never last. MiCA regulations coming into effect. We're starting to see global regulations across the world, and we're starting to see, again, they're never first and they're never last, but Fit 21 bill, we're literally on the precipice of reform and clear rules of the road and regulatory clarity in the U.S., right? And that's going to be what sends this market into a .com style moment where we see that huge blow off top. And I think it's a lot sooner than most people think. Furthermore, Ripple has already established itself as a significant player in the cryptocurrency space. The company has a strong presence with offices in 10 countries, 300 customers across 40 plus countries, and 1,000 employees. Ripple's XRP cryptocurrency, again, it's not their cryptocurrency. XRP was actually created before Ripple, the company. Ripple was created after. It's also gaining traction, with some experts estimating its potential value to be significantly higher than its current valuation. While it's difficult to predict the future of valuation of Ripple with certainty, the company is well positioned to capitalize on the growing interest in cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. If Ripple continues to innovate and expand its services, it could potentially become one of the most valuable companies in the world. And like I said, I think, when it's all said and done 10, 20 years from now, I think Ripple could even pass Amazon in terms of market cap and the world's most valuable company. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. Also, Ripple advocate predicts end of SEC case in July. So that's none other than Fred Rispoli, a Ripple XRP advocate, predicts that the SEC versus Ripple case could end on July 31st or July 13th. And we're coming up on that 1 year since we had the ruling from Judge Torres saying that XRP in and of itself was not a security and that secondary sales were not deemed securities, right? So now we're in that part of the case, the phase of the case where it's, a penalty. Is Ripple going to have to pay a penalty? I think settlement is still the most likely scenario, but, maybe they get a slap on the wrist. They have to pay, 25 to 50 million, maybe on the high end, 100 million. I can't see them having to pay any more than that. And the SEC is asking an absurd $2 billion, right? No one actually even lost money. Essentially, it's the institutional investors that they're basically being penalized for, and they claim that could be a security, right? So they could have disgorgement, they could have that on their plate, and they have to pay a penalty for that. But if you look at all the institutional investors, the argument is they didn't lose any money. They just didn't get as great of a price as they could have. So you're telling me that you're going to pay disgorgement, you're going to pay a fine and a penalty, and then that fine and that money that they pay in a penalty usually goes to the victims or the people who were financially harmed. So by that, logic, what are they going to give that money, the penalty, to institutions that are already up on their investments? They just could have been up more. That doesn't make any sense. So I think a settlement is the most likely scenario. I think it's like 95% of cases that the SEC brings forth is usually ends in a settlement. So I think that's the most likely scenario. And then also Ripple could IPO shortly after the case ends. And then Bank of America has been known to be on the sidelines just waiting, foaming at the mouth for regulatory clarity in the U.S. And if Bank of America is thinking it, think of all the banks in, Japan, think of all the banks around the world and the EU and, all around the whole globe, right? Eventually, everybody's going to be using Ripple technology because it's plumbing for the new financial system. And they're going to utilize XRP, the decentralized virtual currency, to make it all happen, right? And my goal is to become accredited before Ripple IPOs so that I can get in early before it hits the public market, because as we know, usually by the time it hits the public market, not to say that it won't go up in 5, 10, whatever, how many years, but the best deal is when it's private, right? And Ripple's a private company right now. They release quarterly transparency reports, which they don't have to do as a private company, but they're super transparent and they do it anyway. But I think, like I said, I that's my goal, is before the IPO to become accredited here in Canada. I'm from Canada, and to get accredited and start loading up on private equity in Ripple before it goes live. I don't own any Ripple equity at the moment, but I own a crap ton of XRP. So if someone says that, they're conflating the two, XRP and Ripple, well, I can't even buy Ripple if I want to because I'm not accredited, right? But I can buy XRP. So let that, be a lesson and try not to conflate the two, because I think it's intentional. I think they're trying to hold it back, right? Same thing with the SEC lawsuit. It wasn't to kill it. It was just to slow it down, to protect the incumbents, the JP Morgans, the Morgan Stanleys, the Goldman Sachs, so that they could get involved in the space, right? We have Mt. Gox selling, we had Bitcoin crashing, the German government apparently selling Bitcoin. So that was all weighing down on the market, and that caused XRP and altcoins to plummet as well. And just over the last couple of days, we were down about 22%. We did have a 4-hour bear flag as well on XRP, and we were targeting about 40 cents, and we actually dipped down to 38 cents in this recent sell-off. We were extremely oversold there on the 4-hour time frame. We were down in the teens. We were just below 13 on the RSI, and then we saw a pretty massive bounce of about 11% there in just a few candles. If we take a look at the daily time frame, it's not looking good here as well. Daily oversold though, so we will anticipate a daily oversold bounce at some point. Could even be tomorrow or this weekend, but we have no resistance on the daily time frame all the way up to about 48 cents. And we're in a daily downtrend with lower highs, lower lows. You zoom out to the weekly, we're in weekly downtrends with weekly lower highs and lower lows. If you zoom out to the monthly, we also confirmed a monthly downtrend as well, where we had our high, low, lower high, and lower low. So next critical support on deck is really at 30 cents. That's the next major level of support. And if we do dip below 38 cents, I think 30 cents could be in the cards after that. But again, it's just looking at the data, right? Looking at the charts, support and resistance. It's not about predicting, it's about reacting and looking at key support and resistance levels, and then different patterns, indicators, signals that we can, look at to get the most likely scenario. And then in terms of the weekly time frame, we're well below the 10-week moving average. We had a bear cross of the stochastic and the MACD. We had an early heads up here back in the end of April, mid-April. And then everything started to crash along with Bitcoin. Like I said, Mt. Gox selling and the German government. And then overall, just, we got pretty heated, right? We need to see, some pullbacks along the way. Nothing goes in a straight line forever. And there's been tons of times in previous bull markets where, whether it be 2017, 2020, and 2021, there's been 20, 30% pullbacks in a bull market, and we we just resume higher right from there. So it's not the end of the world. We are gearing up for a 50 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross. It's very close. We're just 3 pennies away. I think it could happen at some point, really any week now. And it's more than likely going to be with regards to some sort of news, probably going to be the fact that the SEC case is over. And then we'll see Ripple IPO. We'll probably see a ton of partnerships emerge as well after the lawsuit is over, because there'll be clarity. And XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity in the US. Nothing else has it. They say that Bitcoin does, but it doesn't. The only one is XRP, and it has case law to prove it. Congress has never approved any kind of legislation saying that any other asset was in and of itself, not a security. XRP is the only one, and that's through the courts, right? There's different stages of the U.S., right, and the government. You have the judicial, so you have the Supreme Court, you have the congressional branch, right, the legislative branch, so Congress, which passes laws, and then you have the executive branch, right, the president. And in my opinion, we need to get back to state law, and we need to get back to Congress passing comprehensive and bipartisan laws and legislation and bills, right, because that's what they were put there to do. And look at the Chevron ruling. That's basically taking the power away from these 3-letter agencies that a lot of them are corrupt. Like the SEC is regulating by enforcement. There's tons of corruption, blatant corruption. They are out to get every company. And it's just, Gary Gensler, the head, used to work for Goldman Sachs, right? So it's just so ridiculous that this happens. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments section below. Also, make sure to check out Tangem. It's the best self-custody wallet, in my opinion. I use it. It's fantastic, super economical. It's cheap, easy to use. Looks like a credit card. It is absolutely amazing. There'll be links for this in the description, as well as links to BitGet. You can get basically a sign-up bonus on BitGet, and then also 10% off by using promo code POW, so POW, on Tangem. That'll get 10% off, and it helps support the channel. All right, have a great weekend ahead. Once again, happy Friday. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.